You're 72. Someone asks if you're seeing anyone, and you laugh. Please, you say. That ship has sailed. But later that night, when the house is quiet, you wonder, has it? Or did I just stop believing I could still be loved? Deeply, truly, right now. They say love is for the young. They say it's all behind you. But what if they're wrong? What if love after 70 isn't weaker? It's wiser. Welcome to Speech Balloon Longevity Talks Herb. This isn't just a video about romance. It's about the human need to be seen, held, and understood. At any age. Today we'll explore why many seniors believe love is over, and the truth behind that belief. The science of connection and emotional intimacy after 70. Real stories of late-life love, rediscovery, and quiet companionship. And 5 reasons why it may be the best time in your life to love and be loved. If you've ever felt too old, too tired, or too set in your ways, this video is for you, because the heart doesn't keep time. It just waits until you finally listen. You're not too old. You're just tired of being hurt. When someone says, "I'm too old for love," what they often mean is, "I've been through too much." They've lost. They've been betrayed. They've given everything and ended up alone. At 25, heartbreak is a lesson. At 70, it can feel like proof that maybe you're not meant to feel that way again. Speech Balloon Real Comment says, "I lost my husband 12 years ago. I still sleep on one side of the bed. It's not that I don't want love. I'm just scared to lose someone again." Speech Balloon Story, Eleanor and the Wall. Eleanor, 74, was fiercely independent. Sharp, funny, well-read. But emotionally? Guarded. She told her friend, "I've already had my one great love. That's enough." But deep down, Eleanor still felt the silence in her home. Then she met Harold, 78, a retired piano teacher. They shared coffee and books. He made her laugh. She felt her guard slip, but one evening she confessed, "I'm scared to let you in, because what if I lose you too?" He looked at her gently and said, "Then we would have shared something beautiful, even for a while, and that's still worth it." Test tube, why this matters. After 60, emotional resilience can wear thin. The losses are heavier. The risks feel greater. The scars deeper. But love isn't about starting from zero. It's about learning to feel again, with all that wisdom. Science shows emotional intimacy rebuilds neural connections lost to grief. Shared vulnerability releases oxytocin, which reduces anxiety. Feeling seen lowers blood pressure, inflammation, and stress hormones. So the cost of love is real. But so is the cost of avoiding it. Wrench what you can do. Name the fear. I'm afraid of losing again. Share it with someone. Even a friend, therapist, or journal. Start small. Lunch, laughter, light conversation. Allow warmth without expectation. Remind yourself, you're not too old. You're still healing. Healing and love aren't opposites. They are partners. Compass the deeper truth. What you call too old is often just a heart that needs permission to reopen, not to start over, but to continue, softer, wiser, braver. You think romance means fireworks, but it can mean something much better. When we're young, love is lightning. It's instant messages, late nights, butterflies and chaos. But after 70, love becomes quieter, deeper, more like a steady fire than a spark. And for many, that's exactly why they think they've missed their chance. They say, "I don't feel that excitement anymore. I'm not looking for passion. I wouldn't even know where to begin." But the truth is, you don't need fireworks. You need warmth. Speech balloon real comment says, I didn't want to fall in love again. I wanted to rise into something peaceful. Speech balloon story, George and Marie. George, 76, had been single for 18 years. He wasn't looking for anyone. Then he met Marie, 73, at a gardening club. She asked him to help carry a bag of soil. He offered. They talked, then sat on a bench. No flirting, no tension, just ease. They started meeting once a week, then twice. They planted herbs together, taught each other old songs. He held her hand one evening, and she smiled. George said, It wasn't exciting. It was better than that. It felt like home. Test tube why this happens. The brain after 60 processes emotion differently. It values consistency over chaos, trust over novelty, touch over talk. You don't need intensity. You need intimacy that lasts. Even short conversations with someone who gets you can. Lower cortisol, increase serotonin, regulate your heartbeat, boost immune function. And the best part? Late life love is based on reality, not fantasy. No games, no masks, just real human presence. Wrench what you can do. Redefine romance. Think comfort, not chaos. Find small shared moments. Coffee, walks, shared music. Let slowness be the rhythm. No rush, no pressure. Look for connection, not perfection. Allow someone to be near, even if no labels follow. You don't need grand gestures. You need genuine presence. Compass the deeper truth. Love in old age isn't weaker. It's just calmer, simpler, stronger in different ways. It's not about being swept off your feet. It's about being held while you stand. You've been taught that love is for the young, but science says otherwise. The world tells you love is for the young. As you age, focus on health, not romance. At this stage, you don't need that kind of connection. But what does the research say? It says the opposite. Because love, in any form, is biologically and psychologically beneficial at every age. And if you avoid it out of fear, shame, or stereotypes, you may be missing out on one of the most powerful tools for health and joy. Speech balloon real comment says, They told me at 75 I should be done with love. My heart and my doctor disagreed. Speech balloon story, Linda's surprising discovery. Linda, 70, had no plans of falling in love again. She was focused on her grandkids, her garden, and managing arthritis. Then she met Saul at a neighborhood choir. They harmonized. Literally, he brought her chamomile tea one evening after practice. She smiled. Something stirred. They didn't rush, but their connection grew. Slow and steady, Linda started sleeping better. Her blood pressure improved. Her doctor asked what changed. She laughed and said, Apparently, oxytocin. Test tube, what the science says. Researchers at Harvard, Oxford, and Mayo Clinic confirm. Emotional connection increases life expectancy. Physical affection boosts immune response. Close relationships in older age reduce dementia risk. Love stimulates the dopaminergic system, improving motivation and mental clarity. Holding hands can literally lower blood pressure and reduce cortisol. Love isn't extra. It's essential. Wrench what you can do. Let go of the myth. I'm too old for this. Engage in emotional intimacy. Deep conversation. Shared vulnerability. If you're single, explore senior community events, hobby groups, or even online chats. Allow your body to respond, not just your logic. Know this, biology is on your side. The science doesn't say, slow down. It says, keep connecting. Compass the deeper truth. The world may whisper, you've had your time, but your cells, your heart, your mind. They know otherwise. They know you still want to be held, still deserve to be known, and that's not weakness. That's being alive. You can be alone and still not be lonely, but only if you do this. There's a big myth about aging, that if you're single, you're broken, that being alone means being empty, that without a partner, you've somehow missed the point. But that's not true. You can be alone and still be deeply, beautifully full, but only if you stay emotionally connected to yourself and to others. Speech Balloon Real Comment says, I've lived alone for 17 years, but I've never felt lonely because I stay connected to people, to meaning, to my own heart. Speech Balloon Story, Raymond and the Full Table. Raymond, 80, had never remarried. His wife passed 25 years ago. He lived in a small house with his dog, his books, and a garden. His neighbors said, "He's such a quiet man. Must be lonely." But Raymond was far from it. He had weekly coffee with an old army friend. He volunteered at a local food pantry. He wrote letters, real ones. He kept a journal of memories, recipes, and prayers. When asked if he missed being married, he said, "I miss her, but I don't miss love, because I never stopped practicing it." Test tube why this works. Loneliness isn't about being physically alone. It's about feeling disconnected from meaning, people, or self. Being alone after 70 can be peaceful, creative, empowering, emotionally rich, but only when you stay engaged. Studies show seniors who maintain community rituals, clubs, phone calls, hobbies, report higher life satisfaction. Emotional fulfillment through self-reflection, art, nature, spirituality can replicate many of the brain benefits of romantic love. Feeling needed through volunteering or mentoring protects against depression and even cognitive decline. Wrench what you can do. Create a ritual of connection, a weekly call, meal, or letter. Practice emotional intimacy with yourself, journaling, music, prayer, silence. Be the one who reaches out, even if it's just once. Talk about your inner world with someone, even a pet, a friend, or in writing. Accept that companionship can look different now, and that's okay. You are not lacking. You are learning to love differently. Compass the deeper truth. There's a difference between being alone and feeling unseen. So if you are alone, don't close. Don't shrink. Don't vanish. You are still lovable. You are still vibrant. And your presence still matters. Even in stillness, you can be surrounded by meaning. You're never too old to be chosen. But first, you must choose yourself. The world may forget. Your family may not see it. Even your mirror may whisper, "You've had your time." But here's the truth. You're never too old to be loved. Never too far gone to be cherished. Never past the point of being chosen. But it starts with this. You must choose yourself first. Speech Balloon Real Comment says, I spent 15 years waiting for someone to make me feel whole again. Then I realized that someone had to be me. Speech Balloon Story, Ruth's Quiet Return. Ruth, 77, spent years in emotional hibernation. After her divorce in her 60s, she told herself, "I'm done with love. I'll just live simply." She did. Quiet walks, simple meals, a tidy apartment. But inside, she felt invisible, not to others, to herself. Then one afternoon, she saw a photo of herself in her 40s. Vibrant, playful, open, she cried. Not from sadness, from longing. So she started again. New haircut, new classes, new energy. She joined a writing group. She bought a red scarf. She smiled at a stranger at the market. She chose herself. And 2 years later, she didn't find a man. She found a life that felt like love. Test tube why this matters. Studies show seniors who maintain self-worth and personal rituals report better emotional resilience. Self-love practices increase dopamine, which drives motivation and connection. Choosing yourself reactivates hope centers in the brain. People who feel lovable are more likely to attract meaningful relationships, romantic or not. When you choose yourself, you stand taller. You say yes more. You radiate something unmistakable. Life, and people notice. Wrench what you can do. Wake up and look yourself in the eye. Kindly. Wear something that makes you feel real. Practice saying, I still matter. Take yourself out. To walk, to laugh, to feel. Give love freely. Not in desperation, but in abundance. Choosing yourself doesn't mean rejecting others. It means becoming visible again. Let's remember, they said love is over after 70. They were wrong. Here's why. You're not too old. You're just still healing. Romance doesn't mean fireworks. It means feeling seen. Science supports love for body, brain, and soul. Being alone isn't failure if you stay connected. And you can still be chosen when you choose yourself first. So tell yourself, I'm not done, I'm not fading, and I'm not alone. Speech Balloon. Subscribe to Speech Balloon, Longevity Talks Herb, for powerful truths about aging, health, emotion, and love after 60. Leave a comment, even just, I still believe in love, or number 4, I'm alone, but not lonely, because this space is your space, and your heart still belongs here.